We have great news for you. Kaieteur Radio presents a 50% discount on all radio advertisements only for a limited time. To advertise, contact us on 225-8465 or 226-7455 or email us at kaieteurradioads@gmail.com. You can even visit our office at 24 Saffron Street, Charlestown, Georgetown. Kaieteur Radio, covering you from coast to coast.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's newscast on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. Let's get to the news in detail. ExxonMobil and its partners, Hess Corporation and CNOOC, are gearing to ramp up oil production at the Stabroek Block's Liza field as the Russian-Ukraine crisis continues to drive more supply shocks in the global oil market. In fact, the CEO of Hess Corporation, John Hess, recently noted that the Liza Destiny, Guyana's first FPSO, is up for production optimization. Hess Chief Operating Officer Greg Hill had disclosed that such works could increase the Liza Destiny's operating capacity to the range of 140,000 to 150,000 barrels of oil per day. The vessel is currently operating at a nameplate capacity of 120,000 barrels of oil. As for the Liza Unity, Guyana's second FPSO, which began first oil last month, is also poised to be optimized so that it can achieve a nameplate capacity of 220,000 barrels of oil per day by month end. Meanwhile, Guyana's oil is expected to make a rare voyage this year to Europe as global market suppliers seek alternatives to Russian oil. This is according to a special report by Argus Media's Amanda Hillo, where it was noted that ExxonMobil placed the Suezmax tanker Humerick on subjects to travel from Guyana to Europe starting April 3rd with a cargo of non-heated crude, according to shipping fixture reports. And moving on, trade unions will play a major role in ensuring the rights of workers and the fair distribution of wealth as Guyana continues to develop through its budding oil and gas sector. This is the sentiment of the Guyana Agricultural Workers Union, one of the worker representatives rebuffing claims by Labour Minister Joseph Hamilton that they are useless. Hamilton had opined that labor unions in Guyana had outlived their usefulness and should modernize their thinking if they are to remain relevant. However, where Guyana is seeing growth in most sectors due to increased economic activities, GAU believes that unions will have a much larger involvement since the country's development will call for increased labor. And moving on. The National Procurement and Tender Administration Board on Tuesday received 20 bids from contractors who applied for the contract to construct a new fire station at Wales, West Bank Demerara, which is estimated to cost $6 to $9 million. The new fire station project is one being undertaken by the Ministry of Home Affairs. The announcement of a fire station in that area was first made by Senior Minister with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, back in January, when he noted during the reading of Budget 2022 that some $47.9 billion was allocated to the Ministry of Home Affairs to boost public safety and security. In other news, GCOM said it is not visiting homes to conduct registration and has distanced itself from persons who might be doing this. GCOM said on Thursday that it is in receipt of a report that persons have been visiting homes seeking information on the pretext of being employees of the Commission. The Commission asserted that it is not currently engaged in any such activities, nor has the Commission authorized anyone, employee or otherwise, to collect information from any person or for any reason whatsoever through house-to-house visits. According to GCOM, such visits are made only after agreement between the applicant and the concerned GCOM staff. In view of this, GCOM said citizens are urged to be extremely cautious and not to provide any information to those persons purporting to be GCOM representatives, as their motive is unknown. Persons are asked to contact GCOM on telephone numbers 223-9653, 225-5808, or 225-5868, or or clarify any concerns. 34-year-old Richard Mohammed, who was charged for attempting to murder his pregnant wife on Wednesday, opted to plead guilty to the lesser count of felonious wounding. His sentencing was deferred to April 7, 2022. Mohammed reportedly chopped his pregnant wife several times before burning down their home. The woman was reportedly rescued by her neighbors after they noticed smoke coming from the couple's home. She had suffered severe chop wounds to her head, hands, and other parts of her body. Her fingers were severed as well. And with that, we've come to the end of this evening's newscast. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
Fellow citizen, Yellowtail Lefort project can bring about a change that all Guyanese can have a brand new car and a house at the very least in the first few years of this project. But do the leaders care for you enough to do it for us? Brothers and sisters, as the owners of this massive oil wealth, you people are too silent while the foreigners, along with your leaders, are getting richer by the day with your oil. Both governments continue to issue permits from one oil project to another without correcting this highway robbery committed against this nation. Permits for Liza 1, 2, and 3 were given on a platter for the oil companies to continue their thievery of our wealth. Time is running out for the audit of $20 billion from those 3 projects. Brothers and sisters, instead of Vice President Jagdeo focusing on doing the audit that can save Guyana billions of dollars, Jagdeo is running full speed ahead to approve another $10 billion oil project. My fellow Guyanese, Vice President Jagdeo can put a hold on this project and get so much more that Guyana can become the Caribbean Dubai overnight. He can stop Guyana from paying billions in exploration costs now. He can install the ring fencing provision now to save Guyana billions of dollars. He can demand that ExxonMobil and all the oil companies pay their rightful taxes. There you go again. Guyana can save billions in American dollars. He should ensure the decommissioning fund be held by Guyana, in Guyana, and not by ExxonMobil. He can demand higher penalties for that flaring that is going on. Bharat Jagdeo, brothers and sisters, can remove all that high interest rates taken on loans by the oil companies to which me and you have to repay through our oil. He can remove that 2-year time limit Exxon set to check their books and bills right away with this 4th project. He should refuse to grant a permit for this 4th Yellowtail project, uncle, until full cover insurance is secure to protect Guyana and the region at large. Mr. Jagdeo should not even think
I played a tape
about
on
approving this
Monday
road project without
in
the
which Vice President
renegotiation
Jagdeo
of that
used
Exxon
a fancy term
contract so that Guyana
when he
gets no
says
less than
they're
what
putting
the
together
rest of the
a
world is
cradle
getting.
to grave management system
Is that too
to
much to
tackle
ask for, my
waste
fellow Guyanese?
matter from the oil.
Don't we deserve a better life
I
with this
explained
massive
what
oil
the waste is
bonanza?
about.
Yes, we do.
It's the deadly chemicals
That
and all the
contract,
kind
brothers
of
and
garbage.
sisters, provides for renegotiation.
I
And
played a
don't
tape
let
on
anyone tell you otherwise. With only those few changes, Guyana and its citizens can really enjoy the life of an oil-producing country. I urge you, all my brothers and sisters, to call on President Ali and Vice President Jagdeo to do the right thing for you and your children's future. God bless you all. This is a message from Glenn Lal.
It's Friday, March 25th. Thank God it's Friday, like I like to say. Welcome to the National Outlook on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. I'm GHK Lal. I'm glad we could have spent a week together, or a couple of moments, a couple of programs together. It's my pleasure. And we have a difficult set of circumstances to deal with today. Consumers call for protection against price gouging. Bemoan hiked prices for basic food, other items. That was from last week's Friday Kaieteur News. It's very real, my brothers and sisters, my fellow Guyanese. You don't need me to tell you that. Rising prices, price hikes, price gouging, we are living with that. We are living with that day by day and in a variety of everyday products. These are not things we buy once every 6 months or 3 months, but that we need daily and weekly and frequently. We don't buy them today or at the end of the week and don't need them until next Christmas. No. We're talking about chicken. Chicken is now, I hear $5.20 a pound at Pleasance. I hear $5.70. I had to get some leg quarters for an occasion, and I paid up $700 a pound. So, how do people exist in this place? That's another question that I don't like to ask, but I have to. Cooking gas. Cooking gas is every day. We got to use that 2 times a day at least, morning and evening. Those who are at home during the day, the stay-at-home wives, 3 times a day. Cooking gas went from $3,700 for a 20-pound cylinder to $5,700. Just like this, at the click of a finger. So it rose by $2,000. That's a greater than 50%, 50% increase. Prices are killing us, brothers and sisters. That has nothing to do with who's the government. This has to do with what is reality. This has nothing to do with who agrees with me. This is who can afford what. Cooking gas we need every day. And for it to go up, not by 10%, which would be bad enough, $3,700 to $4,000, but $3,700 a 20-pound cylinder to $5,700, $5,000, $5,200, $5,700. Come on, what's going on here? Price gouging. You pay one price here, and then you pay another price there. Something is wrong here, and we are calling on the government, consumers are calling on the government to do something, protection. And these are basic items. I don't have to tell you about fish prices. Fresh fish, something that we should be abundant in this country. We are struggling with that. We are struggling with that, brothers and sisters. Transportation. Gasoline went up by almost $200 a gallon. I still use gallons, so excuse me. $200, somebody's going to pass that on to you. Somebody's going to pass that on to you. I love the fact that we are into a lot of projects, big billion-dollar projects, but we can't eat projects. We can't put them in a pillow and rest our head on them. We have to feed our children. We have to pay our bills. So whilst some of those things are going on, cut back on some of them and do some things that give our people a cost of living, a living minimum wage, some sort of adjustment that help them to weather the storms that batter them. What could be more reasonable than that? What could be more nonpartisan than that? It's not $25,000 a one-off. It's not increasing pension by a couple of $1,000s a month. No, it's something that keeps them going for a while. I'm GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Thank you for listening to the National Outlook, and do have a safe and healthy and enjoyable weekend.